Hello, my name is Doug Ward, and I'm a teacher here at Cullowhee Valley School in Western North Carolina, and we're here to talk about testing today. Specifically, testing for kids who have severe disabilities here in North Carolina. In North Carolina, we have what is called the NC Extend 1, which is the test for the kids who are functioning at the lowest level. With this test last year, we had most of the students who received either 3s or 4s on their test, which meant they passed the test for reading math. So it looks something like this. There was a few 2s down here, and then there was a bunch of 3s and 4s. Good job, right? These kids did a good job. The teachers did a good job teaching. Well, no. The federal government said that was not okay. Now remember, the federal government, with No Child Left Behind, has set a goal by the end of the 2013 school year that all children will be on grade level and test on grade level. That means that everybody will get a 3 or 4. So one would think they would be very excited about all these kids with severe disabilities passing the test. But no! The federal government said, that's not okay. You're giving a standardized test, and if you're giving a standardized test, you have to have what is called a bell curve, which looks a little something like this. So the federal government said, you shouldn't be having all these kids pass. You need to have some down here scoring 1s and 2s and failing because it's a standardized test. With standardized test, everybody can't be up here. Of course, what's the goal for No Child Left Behind? Everybody being up here. So, federal government says, everybody up here. Federal government says, we need a bell curve. Two things that cannot exist together. So, how did the state of North Carolina decide that they would make sure that they had people down on this end of the bell curve? Well, they decided that if you test everybody at the highest level of severe disabilities, then the kids with the most severe and profound disabilities down here would be guaranteed to fail, thus ensuring you have a bell curve and you don't have something like this, or goodness sakes, something like this where everybody passes. We don't want that, do we? Even though that's the goal of No Child Left Behind, we just can't have that. So, when you're a teacher working with kids who are down at this level, which let's say you have an 11-year-old who has reached the developmental level of 1-year-old. That's something that's pretty common for kids with the most severe and profound disabilities. Okay, what they're doing is they want this 11-year-old who is right now functioning at a 1-year level. Now that doesn't mean that they have an intelligence of 1-year-old or anything like that. I haven't met any kids with severe and profound disabilities who don't have very high intelligences in several different areas. Specifically, the most important, I've found that these kids with severe disabilities have very high intelligence when it comes to spirituality. And they have all these incredible, deep spiritual lessons that they want to teach us. But of course, us being concerned with things like bell curves, we often miss these deep lessons that they have to teach us. So, this child who's 11 years old, functioning on a 1-year-old developmental level, is going to be tested at approximately a 4-year-old developmental level, because that is the higher end. So, what do we have? What are they asking of us teachers? Take an 11-year-old child who's developed 1 year in those 11 years, and then in the course of 1 school year, we're supposed to be miracle workers and develop that kid 3 whole years. Now that's 3 times as much as they expect regular education teachers to do. They expect their students to develop 1 year each year, but yet all of a sudden, teachers with the students with the most severe disabilities have got to get theirs to progress 3 years. Does that make any sense? No, that does not make any sense, children, or I guess adults. But I guess when you have people coming up with things like No Child Left Behind, who were left behind themselves as children, and Daddy had to pay for them to get grades to pass, then that's how you end up with ideas like we must have a bell curve, yet everybody must pass. Thank you very much for your time. This is why I have decided I'm going to refuse to do testing this year. I know that it will have some probably severe consequences for me, including terminating my current career and hampering my future career. But you know what? I've been working with 5th graders this year in a full inclusion classroom where we have a full range of students. And when we discussed with them end of the year about inclusion and how they enjoyed having the student with severe disabilities in the class, I learned some pretty interesting things from them that really inspired me and really gave me some courage. I had one young lady who said, you know, at the beginning of the year, I worked with your student and I helped him out in music and down here, and some other kids made fun of me. But you know what? I didn't care because I knew what I was doing was right. So I went ahead and I helped him. And she said, you know, now, after the year and everybody's been with him, I don't have anybody making fun of me anymore. And that really showed how one person standing up could make a difference. So that inspired me that, you know what? Maybe I need to be that one person and go ahead and stand up and just say no to testing. Thank you.